Hello and welcome to France 24's weekly music show. I'm Marjorie Hash. Now, my guests this week are members of Sirens of Lesbos, a five-piece based in Switzerland, who 6 years ago set out to write an Ibiza hit. Their track Long Days, Long Nights garnered millions of views and cool remixes. However, they soon realised that their hearts really lay elsewhere, in something that combines world beat and new soul, amongst others. They draw inspiration from different languages, but also artists ranging from D'Angelo and Rosalia, as well as Van Morrison. Their first album, Soul, S-O-L, is out this week. And to tell us more about it, I'm pleased to be joined by Arci and Jasmina from the band. Thank you very much.
Hi.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Now, first up, can you tell us a bit about the name of your band, Sirens of Lesbos?
Actually, something that we came up with in 5 minutes, because first, when we released Long Days, Hot Nights, we didn't really have a name. We just needed the name because our label wanted to write something on the CD or on the DSP. So the name was really a very short thing. We didn't invest a lot of brain in it.
It's funny because it's quite evocative between Greek mythology, but also things that are happening nowadays socially and politically in Greece. Is that a happy coincidence, would you say?
That's very much a coincidence. So we didn't even know what's going to happen this year now, and it's just a coincidence.
Now, you met working in music venues in Switzerland. How long did it take for you to want to start making music together?
Many years, because I met Mel in 2005 or 6. So I was running the club. He was a resident DJ. I met Jasmina and we started to make music all together, the three of us. Then Jasmina's sister joined. So I would say we're talking about a time span of maybe 10 years before we wrote Long Days, Hot Nights.
Well, a very long-standing project there. Your music is very warm and sun-drenched, so let's take a little trip and check out one of your singles. This is Cobra.
I am a cobra, going my way. Don't wanna bite you unless I may. I am a cobra, going my way. Going my way, 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 going my way.
One of the tracks you can find on Sirens of Lesbos' new album. Now, guys, in one of your tracks, you sing about talking to God, who is a she, and who advises to go on a trip indefinitely. Is that the goal of Sirens of Lesbos, to do a non-stop musical travel?
That would be a beautiful thing to do, yeah. I mean, we share so many aspects of our lives anyways, and it would be the most beautiful thing to do if we could also have a musical journey that, goes on for the next couple of years or even decades, yeah.
Now, members of the band, you've got various origins. You yourselves are of Czech and Sudanese and Eritrean heritage. How much has the music from those countries infused itself into yours?
I would say Czech music, not at all. Maybe the kitsch element of Eastern European music might somehow transform in our music, but not consciously. So that would be a byproduct, maybe.
Mm-hmm. And what about you, Jasmina?
Well, I think there was a time where we used elements from Eastern African music very specifically. For example, we had this single called I Got New Feelings, where we used the masenko, which is a traditional instrument that can be found in Ethiopia and Eritrea. So I think to us, it was kind of important to, find out what can we do with the music that we grew up with, and, can we transform it into a more modern or into a version that fits us, that kind of is in the mix also with the European music or American music that we listen to.
Mm-hmm. Your parents were also political refugees. How has your family's experience of being uprooted trickled down into your music? Because obviously you've got a sense of travel with you, but there's a difference between uprooting and deciding to travel, I suppose.
I don't know if our parents listen to our music, honestly.
No, they don't. They don't. I'm not even sure. I mean, my mother, she came sometimes to our concerts, and she's very happy to see us on stage and to see that we're doing what we love. Yeah, but I don't think that she brings it together like, with her own history or. Yeah.
No. And what about you with their history? Does that come down?
I think that comes down on me like with every aspect of my life. So it wouldn't be possible to cut it out like when it comes to making music. I think like growing up, in the family that I grew up in, and living in Switzerland, like this, you always have this mirroring of having a background or like coming from a family that has like a different background.
I'd love to ask you more questions, but we've got to now move on to new releases that have come out this week. And we're going to start off with someone who is known for her high ponytail and cheekbones. American pop star Ariana Grande is back with a lockdown album full of sultry R&B, pop and trap tracks. And really they just blend into one another. And in it, she displays her incredible vocal range. She shuts down gossip and unsubtly discusses sexy time. Here's a look at one of the videos for the title track Positions, which in a timely manner is set in the White House. And I'll let you into a little secret. That's Jenny, our producer's favourite artist, or one of them. Now, Jasmina and Arci, at a time when physical travel has been brought to a standstill thanks to the COVID-19 pandemic, one could say your music is a good way to travel. How has this whole experience been for you as a whole?
I think we're really privileged here in Switzerland. So first of all, we got a really good health system over here, and the COVID pandemic was never that harsh over here. Only in the recent 2 weeks there was like a steep. The curve went steeply up. So, but like I said, we're privileged, and we were able to travel during summer. So lockdown in Switzerland is pretty easy, I would say.
Now, from one pocket-sized pop princess to another, Kylie Minogue's singing career has spanned over 3 decades, and this week she's releasing her 15th studio album. After going down a country route on her last record, this time it's all about celebrating disco dancing, and it's full of 70s and 80s beats and a few modern kickers. The Australian singer says it's basically escapism from 2020. Let's check it out. A little Kylie Minogue indulgence there. Now, one album you should definitely indulge in is that of our guest this week, Sirens of Lesbos. Soul, it's out this week, so go and get it. That's it for this week's music show. Feel free to connect with us via social media, and do check out all the other culture news via France24.com. The latest news is up in just a few minutes on France 24, and that gives us just enough time to close the show with one last track. French artist Mid, who is signed to hip label Ed Banger, has just just released a new song featuring America's Mark DeMarco. Now, the two got together musically earlier this year after Mid was trapped in LA thanks to the COVID-19 pandemic. It's called Moving Men, and it's the first track taken from an album set to be released next year. I apologise in advance if the whistling earworms its way into your head.
Not a friend.